Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel for the start of a new FM21 series, and that is Hood Gaming's Tactic Tester. So the objective of this series is to find the best community created tactic out there. I'm going to be putting these creators' tactics to the test using my specific simulation, and we are going to see who comes out on top. So I'm going to kick things off today with a tactic of mine that I've been using during the beta period with Barcelona. It's won us the quadruple in our first season, so I think it's a good one to kick things off with. As of next week, we will have different creators' tactics. We're not all going to be playing the same shape, that's for certain. But it's going to be an interesting run to see who has the best tactic out there. So without any further ado, let's get into the rules. Okay then guys, so there are going to be some rules to this tactic tester. All tactics initially must have a proven record of success or achievement. This doesn't have to be like my tactic. You don't have to have won a quadruple with this tactic. You don't have to have an unbeaten season. But if you have had a great level of success with your tactic and you want to run it and want to put it up against some of the other creators in the community, we need to see some sort of record of success. All tactics must use the same team and fixtures for the test. I have a dummy save set up where every fixture will be the same, barring cup competitions of course, and everyone will run the exact same fixtures in the exact same order, and hopefully we can find out who comes out on top. The third rule on the list then is no transfers will be allowed to be made in either transfer window. Whilst this is being played out, no additions will be allowed to be made to the starting team. The tactics will be loaded in at the start of the season, and the whole season will be simulated. All points, wins, goals scored, and win percentage, among a few other stats, will be collected and displayed to find out who has the best creator tactic out there. So without any further ado, let's get into my tactic. So then guys, the team that we have decided to use for this is Arsenal, and that is because they have a wide variety of competitions that they are part of. Not only do they have the Premier League, they're expected to finish in the Europa League spots again, which is, I think, a good challenge for any team in the Premier League. They're expected to reach the final of the Europa League, which will be very interesting to see how they get on. Obviously, you've got the domestic trophies in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, and they also have an opportunity to win a trophy right off the rip as they take on Liverpool in the Community Shield. So I've loaded in my tactic. It is my beta Barca tactic, and this is roughly what we're going to do. I'm not going to run through all of the instructions and stuff, especially with the other creators coming up in the coming weeks. I want them to really showcase their tactics. So I'm just going to do a quick run through. We're playing with a sweeper keeper. We've got two fullbacks on support. Two ball playing defenders, deep line playmaker, central midfielder on support, inverted winger on the right hand side, attacking midfielder in the middle, inside forward on the left hand side, and a advanced forward right at the top. We are playing a custom vertical tiki-taka, and as I said, this works superbly with my Barcelona team. I'll just put the competition screen up now so you can see we did win the quadruple in our first season. We absolutely dominated La Liga, and we secured the Champions League final, even though we didn't deserve to win it, the Spanish Cup and the Spanish Super Cup. So I think this is a good one to kick things off with. So guys, let's do a quick pick and see what the Arsenal assistant thinks for this team. If we do the quick pick, let's see what Steve Ryan has to say. We kick things off with Leno in goal as a sweeper keeper. I think he's very adept to playing that position. We've got Bellerin, Holding, Gabriel, Tierney, Dani Ceballos, Thomas Partey, who I think is ideal for that central midfielder role. Saka on the right, Mesut Ozil at cam, Aubameyang on the left as the inside forward, and Lacazette up top. I think this is a very good team for this. The one change I'd probably make is I'd probably put Pepe in at that inverted winger spot. Obviously, Arsenal have a very nice team. They've got some depth. They've obviously got Willian, David Luiz, Elneny, Joe Willock, Eddie Nketiah. It'd be interesting to see how much game time these guys get. But again, I think Arsenal is a very good one to start things off. If we take a look at the schedule then, guys, as I said, everyone will be playing the exact same schedule. Kicking things off with Liverpool is the main first competitive game. And obviously the Carabao Cup draw happens immediately. If I take a look at these fixtures then, where is their toughest run of fixtures? They play Manchester City twice in 2 days. Around Christmas, Boxing Day and the 28th of December. That's going to be a really tough back-to-back. Obviously they've got Chelsea, Everton and Spurs in that month as well. So maybe December is going to be an interesting one here. If we go further down, not really anyone else sticking out in terms of a really difficult month. Obviously you've got Liverpool in this month in April, but you've also got West Ham, Newcastle and West Brom. The difficult set of 3 fixtures to end the league, Everton, Chelsea and Manchester United. Interesting. Right, we will start the simulation, guys. I will be back to see how Arsenal got on with my Beta Barca 4-2-3-1 tactic. So then, guys, we are here at the end of the season of the Tactic Tester version 1, as we have tested my Barcelona beta tactic. It was a 4-2-3-1 with Arsenal, and let's see how we've got on. So from the initial screen, just from the inbox, I can see that Arsenal finished 2nd in the Premier League, which is not too shabby at all. I'm going to run through how they've got on super quick and see what they've done in terms of their fixtures, and then we will go into the table showing you some of the more in-depth stats from the tactic. So competition screen up first. How did we get on? Okay, so 2nd in the league, comfortably 2nd in the league, I'd say, but a ways behind Liverpool there, 7 points behind Liverpool. Knocked out in the quarterfinals of the Europa League by Inter Milan. Now, I'd be interested to see if Inter Milan won this. They are in the final against Napoli. Okay, Inter are a very strong side this season. FA Cup, we were knocked out in the 4th round by Chelsea. That's relatively disappointing. Knocked out in the Carabao Cup 3rd round by Burnley. That's very disappointing. And we did win the Community Shield. As some, we won a bit of silverware. It's not necessarily the biggest bit of silverware, but we won some silverware. So let's take a further inspection into the league first. How did everybody get on? So Liverpool champions with 91 points. We finished 2nd with 84 points ahead of Manchester United and Manchester City. It's Chelsea that miss out on that top 4 spot by 10 points as well. So it's a considerable margin. Teams that were relegated, Southampton, Sheffield United and Burnley. So that's interesting for you guys to see. Lacazette finished top goal scorer in the Premier League with 29 goals, which is very impressive. No one up there in terms of average rating. Willian finishing 2nd in the assist tally as well, behind Mo Salah. That's nice to see. And Leno also joint top of the clean sheets alongside Alisson. Looking at this, we only lost 4 times in the Premier League. Just all the draws, isn't it? That's the draws that add up. So we lost 2, all 4 away games. Manchester United, Liverpool, West Ham and Wolves. 3 of those being 3-2. Okay, so I actually think this is a not too bad season for Arsenal. Let's take a look at the schedule then and see how they got on. So obviously won the Community Shield. Okay, on penalties. Let's take a little bit of a look at that, see what happened in this game. So Lacazette opened the scoring. Curtis Jones scored late on to make it 1-1. We go into extra time. Does it go into extra time or does it just go straight to penalties? I don't know. It might just go straight to penalties actually. And then Curtis Jones, after equalising, missed the decisive penalty with Mesut Ozil scoring the decisive one for Arsenal in this occasion. Aubameyang playing pretty poorly there. Gabriel also not the best. But first trophy in the bag, first competitive game of the season. Then it looks like that's a very good start to the season. Winning all the way through October. Obviously, there's 2 Europa League games in there. Unbeaten again through November. Solid wins. The wins against Leicester's quite a good one. Lacazette hat-trick. The win against draw against Spurs, not too bad. That was away as well, so it's obviously a tight game there. Beating Chelsea down here 3-1. 2 goals from Lacazette and 1 from Aubameyang there. Again, not too bad. Another draw with Tottenham in a North London derby. Again, it's not the worst. Oh, Aubameyang missed a penalty in that one as well. Wow. Beating Man City. This is where I sort of highlighted would be a tough period. Back-to-back games against Man City. Beat them at home and then drew 0-0 away. Again, I think that's a great result. Where have I missed the cup game in here? Burnley. Lost on penalties to Burnley in the Carabao Cup. What happened here? Elneny pulled that equal right at the death as well. Elneny missed the penalty then. Maybe a theme there. And Kolasinac missing the deciding one, losing on penalties 7-6. Okay, so then we went out of the FA Cup to Chelsea. Again on penalties. Loads of penalty shootouts in this one. Ceballos getting sent off. Kovacic having a goal disallowed as well, right at the death. Lacazette equalising. Lacazette seems like he was on form this year. Thiago Silva missed a penalty for Chelsea, but Elneny and David Luiz missing penalties for Arsenal there. Okay, so we go out the FA Cup at the 4th round stage, and then I think this is where the wheels start to fall off, potentially. Losing to Wolves away from home, not a great result. Drawing with Manchester United, okay. Going through in the Europa League past Ludogorets, that's interesting. Easier first round draw there. Losing 3-2 away at West Ham, that's probably not a good result. Let's dive in and take a quick look at the XG, see if we deserve to lose that one. Probably not. Relatively even on balance of things. Interesting formation and shape here from West Ham. Willian, Saka, Lacazette maybe not having the best game there. Also, it looks like Aubameyang has been injured for a decent chunk of the season. We move forward into the next round of the Europa League. Nice solid march here, drawing 0-0 with Roma, beating West Brom, Liverpool and Burnley in the Premier League. Going through against Roma on penalties. It seems like a common occurrence here that penalties are happening a lot in these cup competitions, so it's fine margins to go through. Pedro and Veretout missing for Roma there, sending them home. So then it was Inter in the Europa League quarter-final, is that? Yeah, okay, so first game away at Inter. What happened? Lautaro Martinez, big favourite of mine, and Romelu Lukaku with those goals there in the away leg. Interesting shape here. Good to see Inter doing well. And then we lost 1-0 at home as well. Interesting. Okay, and then the final month of the season, beat Brighton, drew with Villa, beat Everton, beat Chelsea again. That seems like a barnstormer of a game in a 5-4. And then we ended the season against Manchester United. Good Lord, what a game that is. Won in the 91st minute. Again, Lacazette on the score sheet. Let's take a look at Lacazette and see how he's got on. 48 goals and 51 appearances for Lacazette there. Obviously shows that he didn't really get injured and just played the whole season at that advanced striker role. You love to see it. Let's take one final look at the tactic then, and then we will go in and break things down. So this is the tactic. Looks like Aubameyang's had a little bit of an injury this season. Yeah. Out for 4 months, damaged Achilles tendon. I mean, these things happen in football, don't they? So maybe things would have been a little bit different if Aubameyang was playing every game for that 4-month period. I mean, he's only scored 5 goals this season. How many games did he play? Premier League, 23 games in all competitions. Yeah, not the best for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. But let's get into the stats and break this tactic down even further and put things on our leaderboard. So guys, I've gone through a lot of these things already, but it's nice to see everything on the leaderboard. I am, as I said, setting a benchmark here. I would anticipate a large portion of content creators and you guys within the community to do a lot better than I have with this tactic. So getting things underway, we won just the one trophy. It was the Community Shield as discussed. We finished second in the Premier League, securing a grand total of 84 points. We scored a total of 119 goals and conceded 46, giving us an average goals per game of 2.2. And the thing that is going to define how successful these tactics are for me is the win ratio. And this tactic, my beta Barcelona tactic, comes in at 66.66%. So guys, that is it for this first tactic tester video. We will be back next week with another tactic, a completely different tactic, and not one by myself, so I'm expecting it to do a lot better. If you have enjoyed this episode or the concept of this series and you want to be involved, drop yourself down in the comments and get in touch with me either in the comments or on Twitter or something like that, reach out to me and I'm sure we can arrange something for you guys to be part of this series. That is where I'm going to leave it for today though, guys. If you have enjoyed it, don't forget to drop a like on it. Subscribe to my channel for daily Football Manager content. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Hopefully, I'll see you guys there.